Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. AC Milan chasing surprise Arsenal loan deal. According to Italian news outlet TuttoMercato, AC Milan are monitoring Arsenal's Albert Sambi Lokonga. The midfielder made a £15 million switch from Belgian side Anderlecht last summer. From the looks of the deal, it clearly appeared like a medium to long-term signing by the Gunners. Despite a good beginning to life at the Emirates Stadium, the 22-year-old ended up making just 12 starts in the last Premier League campaign. With the arrival of Fabio Vieira from Portuguese outfit Porto and the constant links to another midfielder, you can only wonder how many times the youngster will feature for Mikel Arteta's team this season. Lokonga, failing to establish himself as an influential piece in Arteta's jigsaw puzzle, has certainly alerted the club across Europe who believe that there is a deal to be done. Even though Milan have snapped up Charles from Club Brugge, they hope to add another body at the center of the park, and according to the report, they have identified Lokonga as a perfect player. If Arsenal receive an enticing offer for the Belgian, we won't be surprised if they let the former Anderlecht man leave the Emirates Stadium. The North London outfit have been linked to AC Milan's Sandro Tonali, and it will be intriguing to see whether there are any talks of a swap deal involving both the players. Arsenal set to offload another player, with Alex Runarsson in talks with Turkish side Antalyaspor over loan transfer. Arsenal goalkeeper Alex Runarsson is reportedly on the verge of signing for Antalyaspor. The 27-year-old is unlikely to feature in Mikel Arteta's squad this season. New boy Matt Turner, who arrived in a £5.75 million transfer from New England Revolution in June, has muscled in as a backup to first-choice keeper Aaron Ramsdale. As a result, Runarsson has not been considered in the club's plans for the upcoming season, so he's set to depart before the transfer window closes next month. According to the Evening Standard, Antalyaspor have been in talks with Arsenal over a potential loan deal. However, the Gunners are eager to move him on permanently. Football journalist Mark Mann Bryans has claimed that a permanent transfer to the Super League could be on the cards, which would be Arteta's preferred deal. Runarsson joined Arsenal in 2020 as a replacement for Emiliano Martinez, who transferred to Aston Villa after an 8-year stint in North London. He made 6 appearances during his first season for the club, but he fell down the pecking order when Ramsdale arrived in 2021. Last summer, he was sent out on a season-long loan to Belgian side Louvain, where he kept 2 clean sheets in 20 appearances. Monza-bound Pablo Mari heading for Arsenal exit. Pablo Mari has landed in Italy to complete a loan move from Arsenal to Monza. The 28-year-old central defender is surplus to requirements at the Emirates Stadium this season, having spent the second half of last year on loan at Udinese. Now Mari is set to return to Serie A with the newly promoted Monza, with only the finer details of the loan to be agreed between the clubs. The PA news agency understands the inclusion of an option in the deal for Monza to make the switch permanent is the only stumbling block that remains. Potentially, because relegation back to Serie B would mean the club would not have the finances to complete the transfer, having already signed Fabio Vieira, Marquinhos, Matt Turner, Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko this summer. Any other additions are likely to rely on Arsenal clearing more money off the wage bill. Mikel Arteta, whose side opened their Premier League account with a 2-0 win at Crystal Palace on a Friday night, is also understood to be willing to listen to loan offers for both Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Reiss Nelson. Arsenal's star chances of a dream exit to Spain are increasingly remote over fee disagreements. Arsenal right back Hector Bellerin's dream move from the Gunners to Real Betis has hit a stumbling block, with the two clubs haggling over a fee for the Spaniard's services. Bellerin enjoyed a successful loan spell at the Andalusian Giants last season after being frozen out of the first team picture by Mikel Arteta, despite making 35 appearances under his fellow countryman back in the 2021 season. Reportedly stating his desire to venture on a permanent move to Los Beticos, Bellerin had hoped that Manuel Pellegrini's side would aim to keep him on a permanent basis ahead of the new La Liga season, but according to us, Bellerin's future looks to be in London for the time being, whilst Gunners chiefs set about finding him a new club. The publication states that a meeting between the 27-year-old's representatives and Arsenal had occurred, although the latter pointed out how difficult a move would be to complete. Bellerin wishes to move back to the Estadio Benito Villamarin, although an exit is complicated and slow, with its chances looking increasingly remote at this stage of the deal. The Seville-based outfit are struggling to afford him due to the Spanish top-flight wage cap, and that could leave other interested clubs in Spain and Italy to secure his signature. Arsenal assistant manager Steve Round thinks Gabriel Martinelli is a diamond. In the latest installment of All or Nothing Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's assistant Steve Round is seen raving about diamond Gabriel Martinelli to the club's technical director Edu Gasper. The young Brazilian joined the Gunners as a teenager back in 2019. Nobody expected him to even play for the first team that season, but Unai Emery saw something in him to give him opportunities in the Europa League and the domestic cup competitions. Martinelli took his chances and became a fan favorite. He scored 10 goals in all competitions in his debut season, which is not usual at all for an 18-year-old, especially for someone who played in the fourth tier of Brazilian football in the previous campaign. Injuries have troubled Martinelli since, but many at Arsenal are expecting big things for him, including Round, who absolutely loves him. Episodes 4, 5 and 6 of Arsenal's Amazon documentary came out last night, and one of the scenes shows Round and Edu having a chat about young Martinelli. Round made it clear that he's a big fan of the Brazilian. He said in All or Nothing Arsenal, "He's training well. Edu, I love him. Honestly, I love him. He just needs time, that's all. He is a great kid, trains every day, like it's his last day on earth. He is a diamond." Martinelli is a truly spectacular talent, we all know that, but it's time for him to take his game to the next level. Since his incredible 10-goal debut campaign, Martinelli has managed to score just 9 more times for the Gunners in 2 years. That return really doesn't do justice to his incredible talent, which is why he needs to have a big season. The 21-year-old has started the season well. He scored in Arsenal's opening game against Crystal Palace, and if pre-season is anything to go by, it looks like he's Arteta's first choice for that left-wing role at the Emirates. Arsenal take on Leicester City on Saturday, and Martinelli will be hoping to find the net again. Jamie Redknapp criticized Mikel Arteta after Arsenal training clip. Jamie Redknapp has criticized Mikel Arteta to 90 Minutes after seeing the clip of the Arsenal boss leading a training session from last season while You Will Never Walk Alone was played on speakers around the pitch at London Colney. Of course, much of the talk surrounding Arsenal right now concerns the release of the Amazon documentary focusing on the club fortunes last year. Certainly, it has provided an opportunity for everyone to get a better idea of how Arteta works, but not all of the feedback has been completely positive. In one clip, Arteta tries to prepare his side for a trip to Anfield by putting speakers around the pitch on the training ground, and while they are working, Liverpool's anthem blares out. Arteta acknowledged that he froze while playing at the stadium during his career, and thus he wanted to ensure that his players do not suffer a similar fate. In fairness to the Spaniard, he labels the idea crazy, so he's more than aware that is unorthodox. Nevertheless, Redknapp has still criticized the Arsenal boss, admitting that he was baffled by the tactic. "Putting You'll Never Walk Alone on the speakers is one of the maddest things I've seen," he told 9 Minutes. "That is really bizarre because you can't recreate that, that's trying too hard." Arteta is likely to be ridiculed by many for that incident, but it would naive to assume that the Arsenal boss is the only one with a few quirky ideas up his sleeve. It's hard to see how it would work. If being pedantic, you could also note that You'll Never Walk Alone is normally out of the way by the time a game at Anfield kicks off, but Redknapp's point about not being able to recreate the atmosphere seems harsh. You cannot replicate the tension of a penalty shootout, but teams will still practice. Arteta is still perfecting his craft. Some of his stranger ideas will not work, but it's probably the amount that will work that shows that he's destined to be a top coach in the future. Arsenal made to wait for target as his club makes progress in Europe. Arsenal has a long-standing interest in Cody Gakpo, and they continue to monitor the Dutchman in this transfer window. The Gunners need to add a new attacker to their squad, and his development continues to make them push for his signature. He has taken his form from last season into this campaign, and he's helping PSV march towards qualifying for the Champions League group stages. They are now in the qualifying playoff after beating Monaco in the last round. They face Rangers in their next match in the competition, and they would play the second leg on the 24th of August. That game is an important one for his present employers, and a report on Football London claims a decision about his future will not be made before then. After the game, it would be decided if he will leave, but PSV is very open to cashing in on him. Our new look attack look rich in options, but there is no such thing as having too many good players. This means we can add more individuals to the group before this window closes, and Gagbo would be the perfect attacker to add to it. Arsenal in lead for remarkable £33 million attacker. Agents praised for potential talks. Arsenal have been heavily linked with Villarreal's Yermi Pino in recent days. According to El Periodico Mediterráneo, the Gunners are the most interested club in the race for the 19-year-old. Meanwhile, Spanish outlet AS claim Villarreal would be likely to accept any bid in the region of 40-50 million euros. Now Marca and EPM have provided further updates on Arsenal's pursuit of Pino, as transcribed by Sport Witness. Marca has claimed that the Gunners and Liverpool are in the lead to sign the Spain international. Villarreal are currently waiting because any movement could lead to Premier League interest anticipating. Meanwhile, EPM have reported that the La Liga club hasn't yet received an offer from Arsenal or elsewhere. Apparently, there has been only one communication of a principle of interest, namely to know the intention of the player and Unai Emery's side to carry out the potential transfer. The report doesn't mention which club made this approach. However, they do explain Pino's agent have maintained contacts with important Premier League sides. The representatives have seen with interest the possibility of starting talks for his signing. As per the AS report, EPM claim a deal Pino can happen for a fee of around 40 to 50 million euros this summer. Arsenal have reportedly picked out a superb target in Pino, one of the most talented youngsters in Spanish football. He enjoyed a breakout campaign for the Spanish side last year, scoring 6 goals and adding 4 assists in 21 starts. Pino also featured 7 times as Unai Emery's side reached the Champions League semi-finals. He's young, very talented, and has a fair bit of experience at the top level too. Earlier this year, Squawka published a scouting report on Pino. Yermi's finishing is remarkable, they wrote. He has a natural ability to get himself into goal-scoring positions through his movement and well-timed runs, and once he's there, his composure belies his age. They also said Pino was among the most prolific dribblers within Villarreal's squad and brings great value to Emery's squad with that attribute and his blistering pace. He's crucial in the transition, and that is why the former Arsenal coach has opted for Pino in games where the counter-attack has been crucial. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.